So, if they haven't already set up their telemedicine services, how could they get started quickly?
Well, I like to go to the horse's mouth. So I would say talk to colleagues, look at listservs. They've been very active for like specialty societies, particularly if you're in a specialty and you really want, you have some nuances that might dictate a specific product for your specialty. Your state medical societies, you can do an internet search, but I actually find the best thing to do is to ask colleagues. Now, I will say, Drew, though, that the easiest part maybe the platform. Actually, the more difficult part is the workflow. Like, who will answer the phone? How are you going to explain all this to patients? They're used to seeing you in person. What is the meaning of all this? Are you going to see new patients? Are you just going to see established patients? Will you still see in-person visits? Are you moving everything to telemedicine? And then what is your scheduling template going to look like? And then, by the way, how are you going to register patients, collect consents, insurance cards, etc.? Now, I don't mean this in any manner to be a comprehensive list, but I think it pays to sit down and just kind of think about like what what is my workflow in the office, and then what should it look like when my patients aren't standing there in person? And quite often, of course, my team, my staff isn't standing there in person. And if I may, a couple of like best practices that I've heard from physicians is to definitely sign up every patient on your portal, because this avoids that telephone tag afterwards, especially since you aren't seeing the patient in person. A lot of the portals now have electronic signatures. You can upload insurance cards, so that can kind of take care of that. And then the other best practice I've heard is, okay, so there's going to be no shows, right? You have this telemedicine, the patient may not be able to like get their video to work. So another great best practice is to have your MA or your nurse actually initiate the visit, and maybe they can perform like the clinical intake or rooming, ask the patient about medications, if they have a home blood pressure monitor, ask for their BP, etc. But this really kills two birds with one stone, because now instead of you're sitting there trying to figure out, is the patient going to show up? Do they have the right technology? You are ready. Know that when you're seeing the patient is going to be ready for you. So definitely, just thought I would mention those two best practices from a workflow perspective. So in some, I think the platform is actually one of the easiest decisions. What really is something you need to work through is the workflow.